This is how my client manifested marriage, and here is how you can do it too. Hey guys, hope you're well. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing a beautiful success story with you. This is a beautiful success story. I really love it because in this story, my client not only manifested marriage, but she let go of her fears in relation to it in a very sustainable and a long term way. She has came a long way, and not only has she gotten this marriage part of her life sorted out, her whole life is now coming across very beautiful. She's really enjoying it, she's loving it. I'm really happy with that. So I will start by reading the success story, then I will tell you exactly step by step what we worked on, so that you can also apply this in your area and in your situation, and you will also be able to experience similar results. So hey champ, happy Diwali. Also a quick update, I'm getting married in December. I don't know if you remember or not, but it's with the same guy with whom my marriage was fixed previously, but things didn't went well. After that, I have never thought that something like this will happen, as I totally disconnected from him. Then, at my sister's wedding in February this year, we met. One thing led to another, and within a couple of weeks, Roka happened. So Roka is a ceremony. If you are not Indian, Roka is a ceremony where you basically, like, two families meet and they exchange some gifts and they finalize the marriage. So this person is an Indian. So in her family, Roka happened. Roka happened in March before we fly back to our respective countries. It was quite a journey getting to know each other, working out different time zones and long distance till we actually meet at the wedding. We slowly fell in love with each other, but along with it, we were so happy because we had so many happy moments. Things went bad as well because it was just beginning for us. But good news is, I found the one who is as stubborn as me to make things work rather than walking away. I found someone who refuses to let go, and when I am angry, hurt, or sad, and stay there for me and do everything possible just to make me smile. If I look back, everything is happening exactly just how I have always dreamed of but never realized. Never dreamed of love marriage and had this desire of marrying the one my father chose for me, and then slowly falling in love just like old school types, where everything along with me will be super happy, and I cannot tell you, Karan, how happy is everyone. It's like everyone was waiting for this day, and that day is here. I just came to India for wedding preparations and just have 1 month for everything. My heart is full and just want to share it with you, as I promised around 3 years ago that I will send you my wedding card, so wait for it. Such a beautiful success story. So we will, I have a smile on my face. So we will go into this in a step by step manner. We will understand what happened because I met this person a while back and we worked on a lot of things, and then what exactly transpired. So let's get into it. When I first met this girl, this was around 3 years ago. And when she came to me, this is what her situation was. She had a good life. She had a great relationship with her family. She had a great relationship with her sister, her parents, everything. So that part of her life was sorted. The issue was is because of two reasons. One was because she was moving a lot, and the other was because she was a very studious person. She had never been into a romantic relationship. Her career, her focus with her family, her friendships, everything was something which she had a great experience with. Now, one thing that happens that we sometimes don't realize is that getting into a relationship and understanding things about a relationship is also a learning experience. If I am skating, for example, and if you are skating, for example, we have both been doing it for X amount of time. The one who has been doing it longer probably will have more experience in that area. They will know what are the things to avoid. They will know what are the things to not get into. They will know what are the things where they can avoid this and the things where they can get better. And I probably don't, right? It's not that I'm not worthy of it. It's just that I will understand as time goes on. This is what her situation was. It was that her age was going up, and as she was growing up, she had started getting this fear that I will not get married, right? And she wanted a partner for herself, but she had never been into a relationship. At that time, she started hyper focusing on this guy who was very away from her. She didn't know this person fully, and this was someone that she had seen on Instagram. Now, a very beautiful thing about people who sometimes go towards this and project their fears onto this, right, is a lot of times they don't want that person. It's just that right now they are too afraid to actually deal with a real relationship. And because they are too afraid to deal with a real relationship, what ends up happening is that they separate themselves and they pick someone who's slightly away from them. Why? Because their mind knows that right now this person is not instantly in my physical proximity, because of which I might not have to deal with my real fears about relationships, because I don't know how a relationship works. And because of this, I can just keep on focusing on this person. I can try to get him in my life. And all this while, all I'm truly doing is I'm escaping the concept of relationships. This is not always the case. There can be some situations where you genuinely have feelings for this person, or where you genuinely want to focus on them, and that's fine. In her situation, that was the case. The first thing that we started working on was her relationship perspective. We started focusing on relationships as a whole. How should relationships work? What has to be the real perspective towards it? How should she see the concept of relationships, and what should she do as she moves forward with it? After we started working on these things, we applied a lot of techniques, and she was someone who used to love visual scenes. So we focused primarily on her internal state of being when she was doing the visual scenes. I remember this one conversation that I was having with her, where I told her that every time you affirm, you should affirm and visualize as if it's a celebration. It's a celebration that you're loved. It's a celebration that you're chosen. The affirmations that you're doing should make you feel that you're celebrating the love that you already have. Then, after that, she started working on herself, and she eventually mentally let go of that desire at that time. And that in itself was her success story at that time. So we stopped working together, and then she came back to me to work with me a while back. Now, this time, what had happened is, after working on herself a lot, she had attracted a person in her life. The thing was, as this person was coming into her life, because her age was also growing up, she was worried that she would be disappointing her parents, and because she wanted to get married, her levels of desperation and need were going up. Because of which, as the relationship was starting, there were a few things where she needed to put up appropriate boundaries. There were a few places where she needed to address and see some behaviors which were not going good, and she needed to address those. But at that time, she wasn't doing so. Why? Because a part of her thought that, you know what, this is going to go forward. I am going to keep myself involved in this. It will work out, and I won't have to deal with this because I have a time crunch. I have this time urgency. What ignoring these situations and not creating boundaries in these situations did was that she had actually gotten into a place where this relationship had stopped working out. Why? Because she had taught this person that her boundaries will not be kept. She had been back and forth with it, so she had also taught herself that my boundaries will not be kept. She had been taken for granted, and that is the situation which started happening, right? At this time, when we had a conversation, we focused on a few things. Number one thing that we focused on was identifying, and this is an activity that I did with her. I told her to do this. I told her to imagine if this was the first time that she was getting into a relationship, and she was the ideal age, whatever that age is, 19, 16, 17, 18, 20, whatever it is, where a person gets into a relationship the first time. I told her to imagine if she had the self concept that she has right now, and without the urgency and the desperation that would come up, that is coming up right now because of external circumstances. What are the behaviors that she would accept, and what are the behaviors she would definitely ignore? After she started realizing that, she started realizing that a lot of things that she was accepting from this person were because of her own limitations and were because of her own insecurities, and that she does not have to actually accept any of these behaviors at all. This is when this was a slightly painful call. She even started crying because she was feeling the extent of these emotions. She was realizing how she has been putting herself down. And after this, she started working on herself. She started creating appropriate boundaries. And this time, she realized that the only limitation or the only thing wrong with her was not her age. It was not that she was, not getting married. It was that she was settling, and that she was convincing herself that she doesn't deserve more. But she deserves everything. She deserves to be loved. She deserves to be chosen. She deserves to have a person in her life who will fight for her. And look what happened. This is not just a success story that came out of the blue. This is not by chance. This is not just an out of the blue experience that she had. This is a result of constant work. This is where knowledge from my end and application from her end met. And once that met, she started receiving the results that she had always been looking for. This is where she can actually receive this success because she has worked for it. She can actually replicate it anytime in her life that she wants because she has understood the exact method that got her here. If you are someone who's in a similar situation, please understand that this is not magic. Manifestation is not magic. Manifestation is something that is a byproduct of your state of being, which is something you need to put work into. This is not something that just happened out of the blue. Now she knows herself. Now she knows her worth, that you know what this will do. As she will improve her relationships moving forward, as her situation will get better, she will not struggle in the concept of relationships again. There will be arguments, yes. There will be fights, yes, because that is a part of a relationship. But it will never ever come at the expense of her self-worth, because she now realizes who she is. So, if you are in a similar situation, this is your indication. Make your self work the biggest priority that you have, because after you do that, you would be able to receive the results that you are looking for. I will see you guys in the next video, and I hope that you apply this advice, and I hope you have a good day ahead.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.